Hey, family. This is Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation show. Hey, family. I just wanted to come on a little bit. Um, I don't really have a topic, but I just want to talk about some things. I was just reading. I was going through like my messages and on pages that on media pages that I'm on, and I read through like what's going on around the city and stuff like that. Um, y'all know Baltimore City in my heart. I've been living in Baltimore City for 60 years now, right? And I love my city. I remember when I was much younger, I kind of wanted to travel like the world with the trucking and all that type of stuff. I wanted to do like live other places, but it's no place like home. And to me, you want to try to make your life as comfortable as you can, as far as in the city that you in. Because I don't care where you go. You know what I mean? I think trouble or every city have their issues, their crisis or issues that they're dealing with. And it's just up to us how we handle those crises. So y'all know that I'm a big uh, in the sky. And that is that surveillance plane that was here, I believe, in 2016, right? They left, we got it back. And we kept it for about 6 months, which actually is supposed to stay for a year. And it was just a test pilot. It's supposed to stay for a year, but they ended up letting it go. And when Ross left Baltimore City, he left with about 75 homicides that he wasn't able to give that information out. Now, I'm not trying to talk bad about nobody, okay? But Brandon Scott and them is not going to tell you the true effect of stuff as far as reducing our crime rate, the homicide rate, and stuff like that. Now, mind you, and I'm going to say, before I ever seen the presentation, when I was riding with Ross and Archie, and they was talking about the plane, and just from listening to what Ross said, you got to be open-minded. And Ross he's he works with planes and stuff like that. So wait a minute, he was a serviceman. I'm trying to think of what his position was called, but that's his profession. And what we got a tendency of doing is telling people that's good at what they do that what they do is not good enough or it's not right, right? But this man done a lot of work for the Pentagon and other Air Force stuff, right? Where he went overseas or he went to other countries and he surveilled around for them. So when our people, they knew where like the safe places was at to go. Because I was reading up where they had some landmines over there, and during this time, Ross students they took the plane over to monitor where the mines was at, and the landmine, and give it to the Army to let them know, or the Navy, whichever was, the Air Force, whatever. Just try to follow me, please. Try to follow me. But anyway, just reading up on some of the stuff, and not just that, just listening to Ross and what this plane do as far as the cameras, right? And I told Ross, you don't cause a lot of people to lose their jobs because actually it will do the work of the human being. See, because it covers a 32-mile radius. That's covered over Baltimore City and Park County and all that too. So it's monitoring the city at one time. So now the goal with that was to collect any evidence of a crime, a murder, somewhere along the line, keep with me. The goal was to get the evidence, give it to the detectives. So when that person commits that crime, the detectives can come at you with the evidence from that plane, and the evidence they gather together anyway. And once they present this to that criminal, he can't do nothing but agree, right? Because he's telling on himself. His behavior has told on himself. So that's what I liked about it. We put our witness on the line, right? So I'm telling you, looking at it, and I'm looking at people now don't have to be considered as a snitch because the person or the criminal behavior is going to tell on itself and blah, 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 blah. And looking at all of this right now, when I did sit down and I watched the presentation, now, useless, like little thing, people like moving, little stuff moving around, right? So when I looked at it, you see that he was over in Mexico somewhere doing this cartel thing. Well, anyway, he was doing the surveillance over there for the cartel. I mean, for the police over there against the cartels, right? But anyway, you could see these 2 pixels in like, I'm gonna say it was like an alleyway, a street or something like that, right? You could see 2 pixels. You don't know if they're black, white, blue, purple, whatever. But anyway, you see one drop, you see the other run. And that pixel, you see him running up the street to get into this car. But not only that, a group of pixels came out the house. So now they people. You could see them coming out this place to see what happened outside. And they ran up after the car too. But the person that shot that one person, they was in the car. I mean, they got on the passenger side, and then they drove off, right? They flying through the city. So that's how Ross was able to track them down. But now check this out. The crime has to be committed. That's the only thing about it, right? The crime has to be committed in order for us to, and the only way we can look that data or that information up is when you do your 911 call. When you call in for your 911, we will get that message right after you calling in. We get it seconds later about the shooting and stuff like that. So once we get location and all of that, we can pin and cut it down. That's what I like about it too. Even if it's 1,000 of y'all out there, it's a group of people sitting in a room and they sorting all this out. They tracking you now. They starting to track you down. The good part I like about it, they can track you back to the house you came out of, you went to commit that crime. They can track you to where you went after that crime. As far as the Google Earth thing can track you down to the house or the place you went after you committed that crime. Now, let me say this, y'all. That's why I like that plane. Because the human behavior, as far as your violent behavior, will snitch on itself. We don't need eyewitnesses or nothing like that. So when you go out there and you do what you do, and this camera, you know, we taking pictures of you over the city now, and we just gather that information, we give it to the detectives, then the district attorney office get that to file, you know, to criminate you. Real simple. I'm trying to get the words together, so bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. So that's why I like the plane. That's why I like the plane. And it was called the surveillance plane. It was called the spy plane, because basically that's what it is. You know. Now, mind y'all, a lot of white people. A lot of people had a fit. I don't want anybody spying on me. I don't want this and that. But when you in public, you do not have privacy. I don't know why people even try to put their mind in that set. We already got cameras on buildings, cameras in schools, cameras in hospitals, cameras everywhere that's watching your every move. But a lot of people rallied together. Now, mind you, the reason why we fought to get that plane here was to reduce, to deter, to try to get our criminals, give them something to think about first. Because my thing is, if I'm going to go out there and commit a crime, the goal is not to get caught. I'm not going to go out there and deliberately do something when I know you're going to come and lock me up. in a sense, right, to me, I'm like, you should just go turn yourself in. Crime, just go tell them they should lock you up. That's just my stuff. I'm just saying. Because I mean, I can't see nobody just feeling like they can go out there and shoot up a whole block and don't get in trouble for it. Right? I was just reading about the mass shooting of Park Heights and Shirley. And I'm going to tell y'all, in order for me to have some peace in my life today because of what I do, I try not to let my feelings and emotions get caught up in it, but it does. That's because I love my city and I love my people. I don't know a lot of y'all. I don't know a lot of who doing what, right? But I just want us to do better. And I'm talking about a person that used to live a certain way of life, who life has been turned around, you know. And I'm not going to say I did a complete 360. I did like a 180 because I'm not doing the stuff that I used to do. Sometimes when I get angry, when I get mad, I'm talking about and dealing with other people, like if you come for me, that old stuff will want to kick in, you know. But then I'll start thinking too, because I don't want to go to jail. I ain't trying to spend time behind bars for something I could have simply just walked away from. And then I'm sitting behind bars beating myself up because I should have acted more mature in a certain way and stuff like that, right? So I try to think before I do stuff today. I really, really do. And my whole goal is to encourage those that I can, you know, like motivate to want to turn your life around. So when I'm out there and I'm dealing with our, I'm gonna say men, young men or women, if you out there and you hustling and you trying to make life out of that, which is not a life that's going to be a successful life, that type of life going to end you up either in jail or you end up dead, right? So, because you're breaking the law. It's real simple. You're breaking the law. So if you're going to end up in jail or you're going to end up dead, then you got to go around, you doing that lifetime right there, that you doing that, you got to watch your back because you don't know who's going to come after you. But I'm going to tell you this, since I've been out that lifestyle, I don't have to look over my shoulders like I used to. I ain't afraid to go out and if something happened and I think you coming straight for me because of maybe something I done. I don't live in fear like that today. And I'm telling you, because I don't live like that today. You got me? So it's not like I'm looking over my shoulder or I got my back where I can see the door or I'm facing the door where I got to watch who coming in and out. I ain't got to do all that today. Because I'm not living life to allow certain things to happen, if you understand where I'm coming from. So basically, because my life was turned around over 29 years ago, it's like in my heart, in my mind, and in my spirit, this is what God had me doing as far as reaching back out to his people and helping the ones that feel like they stuck in certain situations, help them work up out of it. I'm telling y'all, I'm kind of blown because you know what? I was a cold alcoholic. I never knew. I thought I was going to die with my boots on in the middle of the street like John Wayne and all of them. Y'all know I grew up during that time. John Wayne, James Cagney, Clint Eastwood and all of that. So I was all right with that. I was going to die in the middle of the street with my boots on. But as I began to get older, I didn't want to go like that. I would love to go because of old age. You know what I mean? A natural life, you know, not because I was killed or something along that line. You got me? And I know I don't know when God might call me home and how I might go. I don't know. But now I can say today that at 60 years old, and I was just talking to my wife, right, which is my ex-wife, and I'm picking with her, right, because I'm like, girl, I grew old messing with you. I didn't grew old, right, because I'm 60, and my ex-wife is 45. That's my second wife. My mother-in-law is about 62 and my father-in-law is about 63. So all of us is close in age, right? Except for, you know, my wife. But anyway, we on the phone laughing and stuff because she called to check on me because when I'm in that heat, I don't know what's going on, but it's hard for me to breathe and all this type of stuff. But I'm going to find out when I go to the doctor's Tuesday. But anyway, and I was just going through my phone again. As usual, I go on Twitter. And I normally go over there with Baltimore cops and Baltimore murders, something like that, right? And that's where I get a lot of the information from, like the shootings and all of that that took place in Baltimore City and the communities and stuff, right? Because I don't look at the news like I used to. So I go over there just to see what is going on. And I comment on a lot of the stuff over there too. So I kind of know Joyce Green. I think she's a cop or something over there. You know, people that post stuff and they text, you know, Brandon Scott, the mayor now. So they saying he can do better. He can do this. He can do that, right? But I realized, and I'm gonna tell y'all, for me, I said I wasn't gonna come at them hard like that no more, because most of our politicians, or all our politicians, when it comes to creating laws and stuff like that to slow whatever crimes or issues down, yes, they can create bills and all of that. But now keep in mind, a lot of this stuff, as far as creating laws, it takes a while for it to kick in, for it to actually start showing results, right? So that's the human part of us. But that plane can collect the evidence. And my thing is, you gotta promote it, advertise, that plane in that sky, so that way, when that person go to commit the crime, they'll think first. Pray for they'll think first. I don't care what none of y'all say. You can sit here and say, "Oh, they don't thinking, they ain't thinking, they don't care." Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Because that's what they got a brain for. And sometimes, look, if I'm gonna come out my house and I have an illegal gun, one, I don't want the police to stop me. So 9 times out of 10, I call myself trying to put it on my body to hide it, right? Come on, if they stop me, they're gonna search me. So where you gonna hide it at? It's on your body, right? So it's only 2 reasons why I bring a gun out the house. I'm gonna bring a gun out the house either to take you out or to protect myself. To protect myself and to either take you out. Get what I'm saying? Why else you gonna carry it? For safety reasons. I just said it, right? Now, this is illegal. So if I'm carrying an illegal gun, I'm up to no good anyway. It's like I'm looking for trouble. You got me? So don't you ever tell me somebody ain't thinking. That's what this is for. That's why that brain is there. Now, what tends to happen, we can justify and rationalize and make that thinking the way we think, we can justify it and rationalize to make it right with our own stuff. And that's what some of us do. So now, mind you, the reason why I'm saying it, because people are thinking. Stop telling yourself that. The same way you know today that you ain't trying to do nothing to send yourself to jail, you thinking stuff through first. So stop thinking that the other person is not thinking. Because the goal is, when you come out, is not to get caught with the gun. Because you can go to jail just with the gun. But then if you're coming out to commit a crime, you doing it. And then you know that people is in fear of their lives. So a lot of times, they're not going to snitch. They're not going to tell who shot them. But I'm going to tell you this: shoot me and walk away. And leave me alive. And shoot me. Okay. Okay. That's one of the hardest things to do when somebody come for me. Right down to this day, if you threaten me, first thing hit me: do I need to take this sucker down before they take me down? Because you threatened me, so I don't know if you're going to carry it out. So understand, I'm just being real now. Don't get it wrong. I ain't like that today. I'm telling you, I don't like prison. I ain't trying to go to jail. So I have to think first. I don't mind going over to jail if it comes to like H&R commitment, you know, talking to the guys, encouraging our men to come home and do the right things as far as being fathers, being husbands, being responsible, being productive, you know, stuff like that. Because I held down, I keep wanting to say a prison ministry, right? But I held down the H&I commitment for a little over 10 years. And this guy took control of it because a guy lied on me and said I beat him up. And I got locked up, so I couldn't go into the prison no more until I got that cleaned up. But it's a friend of mine's carried that commitment on. I don't think it's over there anymore though. But um, you know, I just try to give back, y'all. I've been trying to give back since God delivered me, and I can say delivered today, which certain stuff I wouldn't say out my mouth like I was delivered from this, I was delivered from that. But what I begin to understand in life, y'all, we only live we only have a daily reprieve, a 24 hour. So just for today is the 25th of August, right? I strive to be the best person I can be today. Because tomorrow is not promised. I don't know if I'm gonna be here to see tomorrow. Yesterday was history. So I strive to be the best man I can be today. Now I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm a great father. I'm a great husband. I'm a great caretaker. That's what I should say. My mother taught me from an early age. She said men take care of their responsibilities. So I was taught how to be responsible, even though I kind of went, my own direction after a while. But I was taught, to be respectful, to be mindful, and my kids know too. I taught them to respect their elders and stuff like that, and their teachers, because that's what my mother always did with us. We had to respect our elders and our teachers. Now, when my kids would get smart with the teachers and stuff, I would pull the teacher to the side, right? She might be white, and I would say, beat him. She say, what? I said, beat him. And they would bust out laughing. I said, no, but no. I mean, because to me, you are their parent when I'm not around. It's like I want you to have their best interest. If they're not doing the right things and you got to call me because they don't want to listen to you or my wife, then we're going to discipline our children. They teenagers now. Well, Steve, he the only one left, 19. I don't care what no police say. I'd rather discipline my child than to have you shoot my child and calling and because you going to tell me he was showing up. Then shoot my child. And I know my child going to respect you. But if you lie and turn it twisted around now, I don't know. That's why I thank God certain things, he don't allow come my way. Because what I keep in mind, I don't care what your job is, you're a human being just like me. Whether you got a badge or gun or whatever. That don't make you. It doesn't make you. But for a lot of y'all sling it and y'all use it to abuse people. And then you want to talk about the little thugs in the street when you won with a badge. But see, now it's getting to the point, and I hate to say it, but I gotta say it. They're losing a lot of respect for the police. They not even hesitating now to shoot a lot of y'all. I feel sorry for y'all. Now, mind you, I'm out here just like y'all, trying to encourage our people to do the right thing, such and such and such. All of y'all I talk to. I talk to a lot of polices to let them know. I haven't called Ross in maybe a week or two, but I am going to call him to see how everything going. Because I'm going to tell y'all, we need that plane back in Baltimore City. And my thing, when it do come back, and this time, this is what Ross is doing. The Baltimore City government doesn't have nothing to do with the plane this time. It's going to be about the people. The police department ain't got nothing to do with that. Because one, y'all had it. When y'all let that plane go, and I will say it and 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 say it. When y'all let that plane go, y'all gave our violent criminals the green light to do whatever they want in Baltimore City, to wreak havoc on Baltimore City. Now, I know a lot of our politicians, y'all do great things, okay? Everybody don't like you like that. Because if you think because you're a loving, kind, considerate person like me, that a lot of people is not going to, I'm talking about our like criminals or whatever, they going to respect you in that way? No. And I'm going to tell you too, I wouldn't call them cowards. Because normally a coward, like myself, is not gonna go out there and do stupid stuff to get put somewhere. So to me, a lot of them got some balls to do what they do. I wouldn't even call them cowards. Because if they was a coward, they would be afraid to do certain things. But they're not. So calling them names like that is totally not what they tend to display. So you have to learn how to win the faith and the trust back in your community. If you are a local leader, if you are a politician, police commissioner, deputy, whoever, and the people is not respecting the law, they don't have respect for you and your badge. See? So you can call them what you want, but that's a shame when you're in a position of authority and people don't respect that. That ain't good. That's not good. That's not good. When you in your city and you the leader, you in charge of, the city, and people out there killing each other like it's no tomorrow. One, they're not afraid right now. They're not afraid or thinking, really, they're gonna go to jail. That's why people is doing it more open now. And people know who actually doing what they doing when they do what they do. And they ain't telling y'all. Nowhere in the world you shoot me, I want you to keep running around. Because you might come back and take me out this time. No way in the world. Call me what you want. Call me what you want. Because I'm going to tell you, if you come at me wrong, I go on the defense too. The survival mode kicks up. Because that's what happens when you feel like you're threatened. Or somebody going to hurt you. Your mode go up. But a lot of y'all so bougie, right? Y'all don't think like a certain way. The devil is a liar. I just thank God I think before I act. You got me? I truly do. I truly thank God that I think first. But when I'm out in the streets, I can relate so much to our people. And I know it's like survival skills, like survival mode. It's like I'm gonna do you before you do me. And to me, it's sad when I have to live my life like looking over my shoulders. That's not a peaceful life. When you worried about whether somebody gonna come and retaliate or somebody gonna come after you, that's not a peaceful lifestyle. And only because I understand the difference between mayhem, chaos, and confusion today, where I'm at peace today. And that's what I like. I don't want a lot of chaos. If I'm full of chaos and confusion and it's my stuff, I'm going to apologize for bringing it your way. Because if you haven't done nothing to me for me to like, come for you or, bring my bull junk to you, then I need to apologize to you, because that's not my goal. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm going to tell you, hey, I apologize. I was out of line. I will tell you that. But that's not everybody. But I'm just saying me. And what I try to tell people today, right? If your life is full of chaos and confusion and mayhem and you like to just keep going around in circles with stuff, my thing is keep it over there. Don't bring it over here. Don't bring it over here. I got some peace in my life today. I'm not trying to wild out on nobody. Y'all know I'm a real sensitive dude. I'm a very emotional dude. I ain't gonna apologize about that because I remember at one point I couldn't cry. So when I couldn't cry, I would act out in a violent way. So to me, that's like a pressure relief valve. And that's why when I talk with like other men and all that type of stuff, I try to help people understand it's okay to hurt. It's okay to say you hurt. And I'm talking about us as men. It's okay to that hurt. You know, yeah, we want to be tough and stuff like that, but guess what? I'm still a man. If I cry, whine, do all that type of, I'm still a man because of the penis. The penis. I was born with a penis. I'm a man. You can't take that. But I learned I'm a very sensitive dude. I love hard. And sometimes it scares the freak out me because I give that to the wrong people. Everybody don't deserve your love. Everybody do not. I learned that a long time ago. Everybody do not deserve your love and your compassion because they will take it for a joke. And that's not to knock anybody. It's just that everybody do not deserve your love. So over the years, I had to start learning, being careful. That's all I'm trying to say. Of who I really, give my heart and my mind and soul to, because it seemed like every time I trust people or I feel like you good to go, I end up getting kicked in my tail. And that's when it takes me not to go into a certain area, because now I'm hurt. 4 people got shot. And I'm just sitting back, y'all. I'm looking at how we just allowing our people to slaughter each other off like animals. And the thing, look, my son don't run around in the city a lot. My daughters ain't running through the city a lot. My nieces and nephews, most of them live in the county, so they're not into the inner city a lot. I'm not really worried about them. But I know stuff can happen. But because of the way they live, it's not a real major threat to me. But I know, if somebody, something gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Where? But a lot of the stuff that's going on into our inner city, if we don't come together and stand up and support each other with our communities, a lot of children, not just children, I'm talking about like men, women, I'm just saying people, period. They out there killing each other off. And a lot of y'all know who doing it. I can't understand it. Now, I wouldn't want to turn my family members in. I'm going to tell you that. I would not. But I would be on their butt. If I knew they was doing certain things, I would lean on them like hell to try to get them to stop. Or you going to go to jail eventually. Or somebody going to kill you. So if y'all just knowing your family members out there doing this and you just turning your head the other way, that's sad. That's sad. I don't know what's going on with us, y'all. I don't know. It's like we so numb. So numb. I don't know if we thinking better them than me. I don't know. But that is sad. And like I said, a lot of y'all know what your sons and your daughters and nieces and nephews out there doing. Killing off their own black people. Not even worried about how the mother might feel. The child might, whoever you killed might have children. Not even worrying about, or not even looking at how their family gonna feel because you done took one of their loved ones from them, which is not your responsibility to take a life. You didn't create them, but you feel like you can take them out of here. And then when you do get locked up or they come and get you, now you want to blame everybody else but yourself. But you the one committed the crime. But now you caught, right? You're gonna be in a place for probably the rest of your life. And then you want everybody to understand where you at and how you feel and why you did what you did. No, 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 no. That's why I do not carry guns. That's why I do not carry knives, because I know in my past I had no problem in using them. None. So I'd rather play it safe. And God knows, do I want somebody to just come and take me out? No. I don't do nothing today for anybody to feel like they need to come and take me out. If it's anything, I'm trying to encourage you and motivate you to turn your life around or stop doing the stuff that you're doing. I don't want to be behind nobody bars where I can't come and go as I please. I can't see it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't understand why you would feel like it's okay. 3 hots in the cot. And I'm gonna be all right with that. I like to be able to go out when I want to go out, come home when I feel like coming home. You got me? And then when something happened to, like, you know, your loved one go out there and commit the crime, now you want everybody to stand up for Free Willy and all this type of stuff. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And I'm going to tell y'all personal. Y'all hear me talk a lot. I thank God when I screamed out back in 1993 and I yelled out, God, please help me. I was tired, y'all. I was tired. My life was heading down 2 roads. Either I was going to end up spending the rest of my life in jail for killing somebody, or somebody was going to end up killing me. And when I started really seeing that, man, it's like my life was spiraling out of control. And I had to yell out. I yelled out, God, please help me. I ended up going to Total Healthcare. I was talking to this lady at Total Healthcare, counselor. She said, you need to leave that stuff alone and look inside of yourself and find out what's going on with you. Now, I wanted to say so bad in my head, right? My mind, like, what the hell you mean? Blah, blah, blah. But she said it. She said it. She said, you need to leave that stuff alone and look inside of you and see what's going on. And she gave me this list. So I went to an AA meeting. Because I was 6 months clean from the alcohol, I really couldn't relate to what was being said. So I ended up finding an NA meeting. And when I got into the meeting and they talked about the word addiction, not just drugs, right? Not just drugs that we are addicted to, it's the lifestyle. So I realized I have an addicted personality. So you know what? That's where I made my home at, in the 12-step spiritual program. NA. So I can tell you right now today, and it's not to be ashamed, it's not to be embarrassed. I already know that I have an addictive personality. Sometimes I can't do one or nothing. So I had to learn to practice some self-control and discipline and tell myself no and all that type of stuff. So I'm just saying that because, you know, we just do what we want to do when we want to do it. But I had to understand, Steve, it's about practicing some patience and tolerance and understanding that the world don't revolve around me. And I know it do, but I have to realize it don't. You know, that's just me. I'm just trying to show y'all how I had to become selfless. In the beginning, I had to focus a lot on me. But once I did a lot of work on me and trying to get myself right, once I got to that point, I was able to work on myself where I became selfless and I was able to go and give it back. So I had to become selfish first to learn all about Steve in order for me to go back and help that next person. So I'm trying to watch this phone. I hate this little window thing. But I had to learn, y'all. You know, I'm gonna tell you, I ain't perfect, but God dang it, I don't live nothing like I used to live. I don't live nothing like I used to live. I try to be honest with myself, true to thyself, because I was hearing people say things early on in my recovery, like, to thy own self be true. You know, I was listening to people talking about being happy, joyous, and free, you know, as far as in the spirit. And I wanted that. I wanted where, you know, I'm happy, joyous, I'm at peace in here. I wanted that. And guess what? I try not to judge your life, right? For the way you might try to get a balance in your life. I know sometimes living life on life terms can be stressful and heart aching and all of that stuff. So, what I have a tendency of telling people when I talk with them, feel what you gotta feel. I remember I used to get high not to feel certain things. But today, no matter how I feel, I gotta feel that thing and I can't sedate it. Not just with the drugs or the alcohol, the food, the sex, and you know, I know me. And my heart goes out to our most vulnerable people, our less fortunate people, our people that don't really understand that you can turn your life around and live a more healthy and productive way of life. I'm a living witness. And I'm going to tell you, I don't try to be perfect today. When I first got into my Christian walk, I was in Brown Memorial for 5 years. After that fifth year, I ended up winging away from the church. I was without a church home for about 3 years. And I knew deep in my spirit I needed to get back on the track, right? So I ended up going to the Church of the Redeemed. What I love about the Church of the Redeemed, it's a non-denomination church. It used to be apostolic or Pentecostal, one of those. But anyway, with me saying that, my pastor teaches scripture. He breaks it down. He doesn't preach. And when I went there, it was like I was at an NA meeting, but he was, you know, breaking the word down clean. It wasn't all this cursing and stuff like that like we could do in NA. So the Holy Spirit hit me and said, you home. And I've been there ever since then, 21 years. Excuse me, y'all, because I'm trying to fix this phone around. I'm putting the phone the opposite way and stuff. But I've been there for a little over 21 years. Sienna was about, Sienna was born in January, February, March, April. Okay. January, February, March, April. She was 3 months because we joined in April. Easter, that Easter Sunday. So I'm just saying this, y'all. I try not to put nothing, no women, no material stuff, no sex, no food. I try not to make outside stuff my God, because you know we tend to use stuff to make us feel whole and complete inside, right? So I try not to use um, as far as putting all this stuff like that, the material stuff, the earthly stuff, I try not to put that in front of God to look for that pleasure, that peace, you know, all that type of stuff. But being human, sometimes I fall short, you know. But I learned over the years that, you know, nothing gives me that peace and comfort like the Holy Spirit. That's why y'all hear me talk a lot about the Holy Spirit. That's that God-centered side of me. I try to keep my Christian walk real simple. And it's not about perfection. It's about my character. It's about my personality. And guess what, too? I'm no different than Christ. I get mad, I get angry, I get hungry, I get lonely, I get tired. And I thank God that I found out he was human just like me. Did he fall to a lot of the stuff that God showed us that we don't have to do? Or let it become take control of our lives? I don't know. I can only speak on what I read. So what I try to do is emulate his humility, being loving, kind, considerate, and thoughtful. You can strive on being perfect. You can strive on walking on water. You can strive at having your wings. You can do all of that. I ain't trying to live like that. That thing was really stressful to me. Where I felt like at some times in my life I was gonna lose my freaking mind, trying to live a certain way, going around looking like, quoting scripture. Do you believe in Jesus Christ? Do you accept him as your Lord? Looking like I'm out to pop. And I watch a lot of people. Some people I can tell when they new into the ministry because of how I was zealous, the zeal, the religious zeal. As I begin to grow and mature more in the word, I begin to be comfortable. One thing I do know, in this flesh, I'm going to fall short. I'm going to disobey. I'm going to disagree with God, only to turn around and say, Father, please forgive me. Because I know this is not right. You ain't got to tell me that. Because guess what? That's between me and him. That's why I don't tell people how to live their lives. And when I say that, I'm talking about whatever your preference is, whatever your lifestyle is. But if you want to turn your life around, for the better, then that's where I have to come in at. But I only can work that. I can only do that with people that want the same things I want out of life, as far as being happy, joyous, and free, having a peace of mind in life today. I ain't trying to be all analytical. I ain't trying to be a scholar. I try to keep stuff simple. I ain't trying to overload this thing right here. I admire people that does their research, who always need to check this and check that, and the O zone and the U zone and the 2 zones. You do all that. I ain't stressing myself over that. I'm not 60 years old. I went and got me my 2 liters, right? And somebody was talking about the sugar, and I said, no, this don't have the regular sugar like, the other stuff do that's sugary, right? And I know the difference when I drink a regular soda and my diet sodas. Very, very rarely I drink a regular soda. But what I will do, if it's none around, I will mix that regular soda with a lot of water, just to dilute that a little bit. But I've been drinking, my dietitian told me drink as much water as I do soda. But anyway, I'm talking about the diet soda, y'all. And y'all know I had to get me a couple of cakes, right? And I love chocolate. I'm a chocolate holic. But a lot of that stuff, y'all, I had to practice discipline over the years. Tell myself no. Don't buy it, put it in the house. And then some days I'm at that point where I want a snack. I want a snack. And see what I have a tendency of doing too, because I'm taking the Trulicity. I'm sorry if this too close. Because I take the Trulicity, sometimes I don't have an appetite. So I'll go all day sometimes without eating. Because it kind of dims that appetite. And that's not good being a diabetic. I'm supposed to eat small meals throughout the day, but I don't know. It's like over the years, I done lost a lot of weight. I done this. I done that. So, and it's not about me making my life miserable. Because if I'm not careful, I will try to strive for perfection at certain things. And later wonder why it's not working the way I want it to. So, I just have to learn to enjoy life and understand that I can't overdo this and overdo that. So I love y'all. It's been almost an hour now, and I'm gonna tell you, time just fly, y'all. Because to me, sometimes I don't, like I said, I don't realize I be talking this long, and time really, really flies. So y'all know I'm gonna have to practice really some discipline and some self-control when it comes to our team talk and the couch conversation. You know, so I do want to start like writing topics down and do a little research. A lot of the research gonna come from my own personal experience. I'm telling you. But I don't mind reading into other little stuff just to kind of feed you, like my 12-step program book or the Bible itself. Because I look at the spiritual principles contained within the scriptures and all that type of stuff. Um, I was looking at some tribes the other day, y'all, and African tribes and all that. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I don't know what daggone tribe I came from, but still, um, I'm gonna just say right now that's not really important to me, because when I did start doing my ancestry.com, just to find out a little bit more about Steve and the Copeland family, and the Williams and stuff like that, right? It took me back to like the 1600s. But I had to, like, my great grandfather, I can tell you right now, was a white man. And recently, maybe a year ago, I found out that my my great great grandfather mother had actually 4 kids. You know, so I don't know if they was all by the white man, right? But the white man had a wife and some kids too. So I asked my cousin, right, have they ever got in touch with the white side of our family? My great great grandfather brothers and sisters, you know, they Copelands. So I was asking my cousin, was they able to get connected with the white side of the family too? So look, I I don't beat myself up because of what our ancestors went through. And the reason why I'm saying that, y'all, because if it was not from this man, he raped my great great grandmother, or my great great grandmother was willing. I don't know, but guess who's here? Guess who have life? So now I'm not gonna sit back and go, woe is me, because the thing is, however it happened or which way it happened, this is one of the results of it. You got me? So I'm not gonna go back to 1619, 1835, and all that type of stuff and beat myself up for the way our ancestors, was treated. And I'm gonna tell you this: a lot of them got punished because they fought against what was wrong, and a lot of them just stood still and kept moving forward. So my thing is, the ones that lived on for us to be born, that's what we need to grab the gratitude from. And not only that, understand, and I said that on a post tonight. When I read back into Jeremiah, and God told Jeremiah in a dream, I knew you before the foundation of this world. Now, mind you, I'm reading Jeremiah. And as I was reading that, it was like God was talking straight to me. I knew you before the foundation of this world, Steve Copeland. I put everything in you that I had created you or called you to go do. And it blew me away because I knew I had a calling on my life. It was just something about my life, you know, and I knew something. It was that spiritual connection. I knew it was something, and I used to tell people, God is calling me. God called me to the ministry. I just don't know what it is. I just don't know what to do. So I got ordained deacon. And Simon said, "Ain't you glad you walking in your calling?" But it wasn't to be an ordained deacon. It was to actually be a minister. That's what my mind. But then I realized when I fell short in my second marriage and I cheated on my wife, This time, the commitment that I made, the vows that I made for my second marriage, I understood them a lot better and a lot clearer than I did the first time. So I call myself trying to be a better man in the second marriage than I was in the first marriage, right? But for some reason, when I'm hurting and I'm pained up in my marriages, sex has always been a way for me to escape. I didn't want to leave my marriages. I would go and start messing around with somebody else on the outside. And 9 times out of 10, they had a boyfriend too. And they felt like they was being mistreated too. So that's the way we nurtured each other. So I ain't mad at anybody that came in my life when I was married and I slept with, because guess why I'm saying that? Because God already knew they was going to be there. He already knew what I was going to do, when I was going to do it, who I was going to do it with, and he already knew how it was going to turn out. And that was something that I had to understand. So I'm just saying this to let a lot of y'all know, that's the part about building a relationship with God for yourself. Man can't ordain that. He can't. Man can't, like with me, my relationship, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And if you notice, like I said, every time I talk about the Holy Spirit. Because that's what's guiding and leading my life. That's what warns me from time to time when if I'm doing everything the right way, I'm okay. If I start winging off, then the conscious thing, the spiritual part of it, it's like, okay, get back. And I'm trying to keep it real simple, y'all. I'm a Bible believing person, but guess what? To me, I try to walk what I understand. You understand? It's not just for me to preach and minister to you. I try to walk as far as being a loving, caring, kind, considerate man. Because that's what I look at Christ as. I was called a phony Christian today, right? Because this guy ran the house. And when I first met him, glowing and everything, he started doing some stuff. And, I told him last Monday, because he ended up leaving his job. He stopped going to work. He got called for no call, no show. So I'm like, man, and then he stopped dealing with his therapist or his counselor. I mean, everything that you signed up when you came into my housing program, he began to let go. Then he lost his job. So I'm like, how'd you gonna pay your way? I got people that's reaching out to me that need somewhere to go. I got a female right now with some kids. I got 2 rooms. And I was almost tempted to call her and tell her I will let them come into these 2 rooms, her and her teenage son and her children, because I don't want to see him out on the street. But then I'm going around here to see that this guy move his stuff out. He's still there. And I got mad because, number one, you're holding my process up, because I told you I want to get in these rooms, clean them out real good for the next people that's coming in. All of a sudden, he goes saying, you can't put me out. I'm like, oh, whoa. I'm going to just say this. Stop, y'all. Stop. Transitional houses, or say housing programs, do not go by, right? No laws as far as leasing agreements or rental agreements. We don't do that, because you're not held bound by an agreement to stay like 6 months, 7 months, a year or 2. That's not what we do. So if you in the program and you decide that you don't want to continue doing what you need to do for you to grow forward, then my thing is move on. Move on. You ain't held bound, or say like you don't like the rules or something in the house, right? If you don't like, and as far as changing your life with this, you don't have to stay. So y'all need to stop doing that. Trying to make people think when they in people recovery programs that I gotta go get eviction to get you out. No. I'm the one signed the lease for that house. Your name not on that lease. So I call the police or something, and they're gonna try to tell me what I cannot do. Your name is not on that lease. My name is on that lease. If I allowed you in there, and even if you get mail coming in, guess what? It's people that got mail coming in that house right now to this day do not live in that house. So we put return to sender on it. But if you need a mailing address, I will work with you so that you can keep up with your stuff. That don't mean you live here. And what made me mad is like everybody I try to work with, then all of a sudden now you was the one made the decision to go back to using, not me. You the one made the decision to stay home from work and not continue doing what you need to do to pay your way. So now when it all boils down to it for you to walk, now it's all my fault. Oh no, you won't. You 50 something years old and gonna sit back and tell me little stuff like, well, you act like this don't happen, that don't. You strategically lost your job and all that stuff by not showing up to do the work. And then you want to turn around and kind of try to flip it at somebody else like everything was a mistake. It was, and you deliberately, like I said, when it got to that point that I had my own townhouse and I wasn't able to pay my rent no more and stuff like that, and I got evicted that night before they was coming out to put my stuff out, I moved my stuff and I made sure that that townhouse was nice and clean and neat. I'm not going to give you a chance to come and toss me out like that. If I see we not getting along or certain things happen where I can no longer afford such and such, why am I going to sit back and give you hell and expect to be in something, right? And just don't pay my way. I'm like, bro, you crazy. Now I could see if you was in your 20s and you really didn't understand certain things, you 50 something years old, trying to carry yourself like an irresponsible teenager or a child or something. So anyway, my program, my mental health program, asked me to let them stay for a couple of more days till they can find them recovery program to go to. I could have called the recovery program for myself, but the reason why I did not send him to somebody else's program because basically he just started using maybe 2 months ago. So I figured right now, and that's just me, he's more caught up in the getting into using than really trying to stay clean right now. And I don't think she really understood where I was coming from. But in order for a person to want to stop and stay clean, their desire to stay clean has to be stronger than their desire to use. And I'm just saying that from my experience as a recovering addict, I was told and I was taught that desire to use had to go. If my desire to stay clean is not stronger than my desire to use, I will end up going back to using. I don't care to use. I don't never want to use, be honest with you. Yeah, it's time stuff went on in my life, man, and I wanted to do this and I wanted to do that, and I felt real bad, and I wanted to sedate my feelings and stuff like that. But it hit me when it comes to the dope and the cane and the drugs and stuff. I can't use. I got a bad liver. I don't even use that as an excuse. But because I know I have a bad liver because of the drinking and the drugging and stuff, I don't want to speed up the damage, towards my liver and stuff like that. So I haven't even talked about that in years. I'm telling you, I have not talked about Hep C or something like that in years. because a while back, some years and years ago, there was a lady at my church when I said I had Hep C or something like that, right? She said, "Oh, if God wanted to heal that thing, he'll heal that thing." And ever since she said that, I stopped claiming it. I stopped claiming it. I'm just saying, because I was on the medicine that they put me on, and it put me in a state of mania. I'm gonna say that, right? So I had to come off the medication. So I love y'all. And I'm gonna get ready to get off. Now, September, I will have 2 rooms available. I got a queen size bed in one. I got a twin bed in another one. Um, I don't know. I was in that room with the twin bed, right? And I was thinking about putting another twin bed in there, but I don't want to overcrowd nobody. You know what I mean? So I do have 2 rooms that will be available for September. But I'm gonna say this too: if y'all know anybody that wants to turn their lives around and they want help, send them my way. I'm not a joke. Okay. I'm serious about helping people putting their life in order. So if you come in and you want to buck the system, I'm not going to give you a hard way to go. I'm going to simply let you know you can go. You can go. Because if you don't like what's going on in here, now you talking about getting yourself together. So living a new way of life is not just that easy. I already know that. But if you come in and after a while you feel like you want to buck the system and you want to complain, then my thing is you can go, because you're not held bound by being here. You're not tied to anything. Sometimes I know you don't have nowhere to go. So why is you going to sit up here and complain about help? You're going to, after a while, you're going to try to tell help how to help you. If you knew what to do, why did you come here? So, in me saying all of that, sometimes you got to humble yourself. When you reaching out for help, you got to humble yourself and be taught. You might not like it, like everything, because guess what? You learning to do things in a different way now. So you fighting to stick with the old stuff when that person trying to help you focus on new stuff. I had to learn to get rid of my old ways of thinking and doing things. I have to change people, places, and things in order for me to learn how to walk on this path a day at a time. I don't expect for you to change overnight. But if you coming into a program and then you want to buck the program after a month or two and you feeling better about yourself, and it's like really you at a point you ready to go, but you're afraid to just go. You can go. If you come into anybody's program, you have the right to go. Now it's up to them if they bring you back. But my thing is, once you gone, this house right here, you ain't coming back this time. Maybe down the line, I might help you somewhere down the line, but no, not in my housing program. Because I feel like if you disrespect me here, you ain't gonna never respect me again. When you feel like you need to go toe to toe with me, and I only have your best interests at heart. I don't have time for that. So if y'all know some people that's seriously looking for some help, reach out to me and let me get off here. And I love y'all. Have a safe night and be careful.